It's only been a few weeks since we talked about that horrible hemorrhoid on Twitch that abused his son because he lost a Madden game. That story has a happy ending. Luckily, George R. R. Martin finished this tale. He got kicked out of the house by his wife and hasn't really said or done anything since. I guess he just faded into the football shadow realm. But then, yesterday, some other streamer saw this guy and must have said, "I want to be like him, but worse." So we have an even worse father that came out of nowhere, a new anime villain here, and this pathetic urinal cake just exists to get pissed on. He fucking sucks at the games he plays, and he has some of the worst anger I've seen on Twitch. I went through a couple of his old shit, and it's nothing but him raging half the fucking streams. But last night there was an eruption from this volcano of pathetic worthlessness. He storms out of his chair going off screen, yelling and screaming at a child, saying that he's gonna break their neck, saying, "I hate you." And the child is crying and screaming, and he goes on Twitter to say it wasn't directed at his daughter, it was directed at his dog. He was threatening to break his dog's neck, which makes everything okay. I'm going to show the clip now. It's very disturbing, just a heads up, and then we'll go over him trying to justify his absolutely disgusting behavior.
What the fuck, man? Oh my god, dude, I fucking pre-fired him! Dude. Okay!
Did you get head jaws by him too?
God, man. This fucking shit, dude. God, stop fucking shitting in it! Stop shitting! I don't care, Riley. Shush. Dude! Stop fucking shitting yourself, dude. How hard is that? Christ, man. God damn, you stupid motherfucker. God, I fucking hate you, dude. Get the fuck out of my room, bro. Go! Get out! Go! The fuck out of my room, dude! Get out! I'm gonna break your fucking neck, dude. Get the fuck out!
He's yelling at a child, but he himself is the biggest child in that house, just having a full-on, whiny, pissed-pants baby meltdown. Oh no! Okay, dude. Oh. All because he just fucking sucks ass at his video game. And of course you could see some gamer tears crashing upon his Dorito-dusted desk as he gets up and then just starts to be abusive towards everyone around him. Now it's important to note that this clip is actually cut. It's not one continuous clip, but it's in two big sections. The first section where he goes, starts yelling and a child is crying as he says to stop shitting yourself, and then it's cut again when he gets up and he says to get the fuck out, "I hate you, I'll break your neck." So there is two clips here. And in the first one, I think it's very clear that this is directed at his daughter. And he is a father, he has a daughter, this is his Twitter bio, aspiring gamer, single father of a beautiful 3-year-old, business owner. Look, I'm no fortune teller, I don't have a crystal ball, but I think this clip right here just single-handedly killed your business. I don't know what the business was, probably something fucking terrible though, like he probably sells gaming diapers because he's always shitting himself out of anger in his video games, so probably thinks there's a market for it, not realizing that he's just one of the only ones that gets that fucking mad at games. Now this asshole took a much different approach to the last abusive father on Twitch. That guy just left without saying anything, didn't bother to defend himself. This guy's doing everything he can to justify what happened here. So going on Twitter, we'll go over some of them. He says, "Anyone who believes that edited ass clip is severely misinformed. While I don't dismiss that I got overly upset, I was definitely 100% talking about my dog. The guy that I banned from my stream edited it to not seem so, but that's what it was." This guy even fucking writes like a child. And there's a lot of problems with this statement here. One, this guy gets about 2 viewers a stream, and I don't think he banned one of those 2 people, and I'm pretty sure both of those people are just him watching his own stream on different devices. The only reason this clip even surfaced is because the guy that killed him is a streamer, and his name is Frizzable, so he checked in on this guy's stream to see how he reacted to the kill, and he got blasted with this disgusting dose of garbage. That's the only reason this clip surfaced. It's not like there was some angry viewer that was just so upset that he got banned from his favorite streamer, Kill MF Cam. That was his favorite place to hang out. That's where the cool kids went to drink brewskis and watch some child abuse on stream. And when he got banned, he just couldn't take it. So he made a video to slander the poor guy. And then another problem with this statement is edited ass clip. There's only one edit. It's a continuous shot all the way up till when the child is crying, and then it cuts again to when he gets out of his chair to yell one more time saying, "I hate you and I'll break your neck." It's not like a clip that's edited a lot. There's not a lot of editing going on there. They didn't have to try very hard to make you look like an abusive asshole, because that's clearly what you seem to be. Now, in the second clip, it could be directed at someone that's not his daughter, since his daughter is no longer screaming and crying out of fear. So that's possible that it's directed at his dog. But does that make it any better, you cum dumpster scumbag? I don't think so. Animal abuse is still a horrible thing, also still a crime. The first clip, though, I think it's pretty undeniable that that was directed at your daughter. You wouldn't talk to a dog that way, and your daughter is extremely fucking scared, crying. So I don't know how you could possibly make the argument that the first part of this clip is not directed at your daughter. Because even if it wasn't, it clearly seems like she feels that it is. He continues, "You really said I threatened to break my dog's neck, not my 3-year-old son, and admitted to hitting your dog because you got angry, and think that sounds any better at all." And this dumb, stupid piece of shit says, "Yes, it is. I am allowed to whoop my dog's ass." First of all, you fucking troglodyte, you used the wrong allowed. I've never even seen this mistake before. The word you were looking for is allowed, A-L-L-O-W-E-D, not allowed, A-L-O-U-D. That means you're speaking aloud. You fucking dumb idiot. Like, holy shit, you are so stupid. I didn't even know anyone could make this kind of mistake. But also, no, you're not allowed to whoop your dog's ass. That's called animal abuse, and you should not be allowed near any animals ever in the future. And your daughter shouldn't be in that household where you're beating dogs in the first place. He continues, whoop my dog's ass for being bad, dude. She's a pit, LMFAO. I whooped her butt twice and made her leave my bedroom, LMFAO. While it wasn't okay to sound so mad, it really wasn't what this guy edited it to be. This guy sucks. This guy fucking sucks. Every single statement he makes himself look worse and worse and worse. This guy is an insufferable asshole who apparently beats his dog in front of his daughter. So this is not acceptable. Even if in some far-off fantasy world at no point in that clip was any of that directed at his daughter, he openly admits to beating his dog, and you can hear his daughter crying about it. His most recent tweet to really cement his place as a good guy, a victim of slander, is this right here. I'm gonna go ahead and say one more time. To all that are concerned, I'm sorry I reacted the way I did. I did overreact, but my overreaction was in no way directed at my kid. That video is edited slander of me yelling at my dog, though that doesn't excuse my anger, please realize. I mean, so this guy truly was the victim of just some horrible slander campaign. A smear campaign against the good guy, Killa MF Cam. Man, it's so upsetting to see just a normal, good, red-blooded American, hard-working man trying to beat his dog on stream and then getting slandered for it. Like, come on now. I feel so bad for the guy. Unbelievable that this good man would be the victim of such a horrendous, heinous slander video. Ugh, despicable. So yeah, this guy sucks. Luckily he was banned, so that's good to see. But he's still trying his best to make himself not look like an absolute piece of shit on Twitter, and continues to dig himself further into a hole by making it seem like in his delusioned mind that he believes it's okay to beat animals if they are misbehaving, or just beat them if you're mad at a game. And of course in the clip you can hear his daughter crying about it, so she doesn't like it. So I would argue that you're traumatizing your daughter and teaching her that it's okay to beat things when you're upset. So, regardless of how you're going to try and spin this story, and you're not doing a good job of it anyway because you're admitting to a crime anyway, which is beating your dog, that's called animal abuse, that is still a crime. No matter what he's tried, he has made himself look like probably one of the worst streamers I've seen on Twitch. This guy is fucking horrible, and I just wanted to talk about it because this whole thing made me extremely mad. That's about it. So yeah.
Going to be visiting the dark web version of the Internet Strange's websites. This is the final and technically fourth part of the series, so I made
dark
a playlist
web.
you can check out at the top right of the screen if you want to watch
I've seen
all the
that
episodes.
movie.
For my safety
Unfriended.
and yours, I will not be sharing the links. Go watch the other parts of this series. Anyway, in case you guys don't know about the dark web, you can only access it using Tor web browser, not Google Chrome, not Firefox, not Internet Explorer. I don't know why you would use that anyway. This allows you to go into.
Well, it's not called Internet Explorer now. It's Edge.
The websites usually consist of random numbers. In the last video, we covered the basics, and this time I just decided.
Tor was made by the CIA.
And clicking and clicking. So what you
Is that true? I remember that rumor floating around back when I was learning what the dark and deep web and shit was. Was Tor actually made by the CIA? It was made by the Navy. Oh, we're getting... Oh, there's like a fucking civil war in the chat. Was it the Navy or the CIA? On Tuesday, the CIA announced its own Tor Onion service. So the CIA, I guess, is getting into the dark web space. What are they, like, releasing dark web NFTs? I don't know. This is a weird announcement from 2019. The United States Naval Research Laboratory. I'm assuming. I guess it's the first thing that popped up. Yeah, it looks like it was the Navy. So besides like arms purchasing and like illegal shit, what is the point of the dark web? Like, I can't imagine people are accessing the dark web going through Tor to look up like video game walkthroughs. That seems like there's no way that happens on the dark web. Who's going on the dark web like, bruh, I'm really looking to buy some crocodile. Oh, someone's selling. All right, here's my credit card info. No one's typing that shit in on the dark web. No fucking chance. No one's dumb enough to do that, right? College kids? Nah, I don't believe that for even a second. Nobody would. They're absolutely using like Monero or some kind of crypto or something. They're not going to be using like their actual just fucking Visa card.
Revenge. Now you might be saying, we already covered revenge in the last video. Yes, but those websites were taken down. Won't be sharing the name of the website, but I'll show you guys the layout. So right out of the gate, you're given a list of female names to browse through. If you click on a name...
This used to exist on the surface web for what it's worth. Tuv even covered it once. There used to be a website that was all for revenge porn, and eventually the guy who ran it faced, how many years in jail? I don't remember how many, but yeah, he got fucking blasted. But this was something back in the early internet days that it existed just on, you know, you could go on AOL and just look at revenge porn. It was fucking crazy. He got 18 years? Was it 18 years? You might be right.
There are two options: the lifetime basic.
Yeah, see, buy with Bitcoin.
Premium.
You're not typing in credit card info.
$150 and includes lifetime membership, daily updates, 101 gigabytes in leaked amateur content, which is 69,307 photos,
Christ.
3,405 video, plus a VIP section, an IP cam section, spy cam recordings, NAS Synology section, and unsorted content, which apparently they have 10 terabytes worth of. So yeah, the IP cam
Holy
section.
Shit.
Like, dude, I feel so bad for the girls that don't even know their laptop is hacked and people are just watching them. Random people are just watching them.
That's another crazy thing. Do you guys remember that back in early internet days? There was a time, I don't remember if it was Max, but there was some laptop that shipped with a webcam built in, and it was extremely easy to access. So easy, in fact, there was a website set up on Surface Web where it would just be like a roulette. You just click a button and it'd take you to some random guy's webcam. You could just watch them living their lives. Was it Dell? It might have been Dell. Yeah, so you just have this roulette of just watching people's lives through their webcam. They had no idea. It was fucking wild. It was wild. So then, like, it was such a big deal that eventually the experts were like, if you own this laptop, just put a piece of tape over the webcam. Otherwise, you are most likely being watched.
You exist. But I just want to let you guys know that. And I'll provide some Amazon links in case you guys want to buy some webcam covers. Disgusting fantasies.
You don't want to look at my webcam? Yeah, like... It's just one of those fucking creepy things, man. I don't think looking through those webcams ever really, like, nothing, like, crazy ever happens. But it's still just fucking scary to think about.
If you are not of legal age, or if this type of material is not legal in your jurisdiction, do not enter. This site contains absolutely no videos, photos, 3D rendered art, or other illustrations of or adults. If you're looking for any of that, you're in the wrong place. It's basically saying, we have a bunch of these, like...
Shit's like a Tumblr blog.
About
the fuck?
Not only that, but they have 2 prevention campaign advertisements to deter the users from doing anything in real life. They're obviously only doing this so it seems like, hey, we're actually the good guys. We're preventing this stuff from happening in real life, when in reality they're just providing the acceptance, normalization, and culture of files.
That is something that is, I've seen this on Twitter. There's a verified account, a couple 100,000 followers from what I recall. They have this belief that if we could just use AI to generate fake children for porn, it would solve pedophiles. There is a group of people that genuinely believe that providing, like, more child porn but without real people, that it would somehow get rid of, like, pedophiles. It is the most ass-backwards idea ever. It's fucking disgusting. They've made this post like, this is where I think deepfakes need to go. We need to create deepfakes of children in pornographic settings, so that way people would no longer be incentivized to use real children in child porn. It blew my fucking mind, and there are people supporting that. Like, all that does is provide more child porn for pedophiles and make the market even bigger for people to fucking film that shit in the real world. It's crazy. It's crazy. Twitter is just the most outrageous wasteland of horrible ideas. That's what this just reminded me of. I think it was actually Mudahar who commented on that. I don't remember what the account was that was talking about it. I know they deleted it shortly thereafter.
Minor, and it's still illegal to have on your device. Take Lolly for example. Even though they're just drawings, you can be arrested and charged with a crime if you possess Lolly in any form. Other countries have also...
Oh wait, let me read that. I didn't know that. Is that real? You can actually get arrested for Lolly? So what is Twitter talking about then where it's like, it's not illegal? In fact, Lolly is something to be celebrated.
So enacted laws making Lolly... We offer the best collection of real snuff and authentic R-word pictures and video clips.
Jesus
Thousands
Christ.
of photos, videos, comics, and books. Join us for your very special never forget experience. For a small one-time fee, you have unlimited access forever. We add always new forbidden content, completely safe and anonymous.
Jesus.
The document. The stuff on that document is absolutely fucking insane.
The
worst part is that they provide image proof. So, they provide image proof by using these web links. Everything that I'm about to say is real.
They use Reddit?
They provide some video proof too. I did check out some of them, and oh my god, I never want to go back. Like, deadass, I never want to fucking go back. I never want to see those images again, but it is real. I'm letting you guys know, this shit is real. Let's go over the document. I was actually kind of stupid and I downloaded the fucking text document. I don't know why I downloaded it. I downloaded something from the dark web. It's on my computer now. It's just a document.
It's like a J-Station video. I downloaded some shit from the dark web, now all of a sudden I'm an 8-foot smurf. I accidentally drank the Amogus potion at 3 AM from the dark web. Jesus Christ, tough.
Yeah. So the first thing they're claiming to sell are guns. We have sniper rifles, Mossberg 500, TOZ rifles, Kalashnikov rifles. I've never heard of that. But it says made in Russia, not China, from the other video. So let's just go into something shocking. This one, bro, this is what really got me. Video filmed according to your script with torture, R-word, snuff, etc. We need from you how many actors will be, race, gender, and your script/scenario. I can't believe
Jesus Christ.
The youngest actor we had, 4 days after she is born. The oldest actor we had, 93-year-old woman.
Holy
I'm assuming
fuck.
It's kidnapped people, blended up babies in smoothies. A classic smoothie is a drink made from pure raw fruit and or vegetables using a blender. Classic smoothie is a healthy type of cocktail that you can drink for breakfast or a bit later. But we have a special smoothie. It's made from newborns. We place in blender the newborn with or without legs/hands/head
no fucking shot.
And blend until the mixture is source smoothies from newborns strictly in the refrigerator or cool place.
That one seems very fake.
Also buy male and female genitalia, just like they're obviously
I don't know about that one. That one doesn't seem like a real thing.
Safe and secure container will be transferred and marked as for medical school. So they got their own methods to.
That's CIA bait.
Legit.
Yeah, it definitely seems like bait.
Cocaine, and why does that even matter? What? By reading the names, I recognize some of them. It's extremely fucking illegal. They're also selling the Logan Paul video. You guys know which one, which is a complete shock to me. It was like a YouTuber on this list. What was going on? But you know what Logan Paul video I'm talking about.
Can't you just find that on archive.org?
60 FPS.
Why would you buy that on the dark web? Pretty sure it's on archive.org.
Check out their image proof and like
it makes it tier 1 Ash.
And you guys don't worry about my mental health. A lot of people comment like, I hope your mental health is good. It's good, bruh. I'm gonna go play GTA after this, right? But thank you guys so much for just supporting.
Yeah, it's the Logan Paul Forest video.
It's a blessing.
I'm pretty sure it's on archive.org.
Like, don't worry about me. Go on with your life. And I'll see you guys. Actually, leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys next time I upload.
Nice. So besides, like, illegal shit, is there any reason to go on the dark web? I know Mudahar's made a few videos on, like, other things besides, like, the worst shit on there, but what else is there? Besides just a bunch of illegal shit. To get around taxes, like, there's, like, accountants on there. You could charge for, like, services to evade taxes or something. That's more just illegal shit, though. I'm saying, like, besides all illegal shit, people just go there to hang out sometimes. Oh, well, if it was made by the Navy, then why the hell was it made and has a bunch of illegal stuff on it? Well, the reason it has a bunch of illegal stuff on it is because the anonymity. That's like the whole point of the dark and deep web. As for why it was made, that I don't really know. It's probably to get around, like, surveillance or something, maybe. I'm just spitballing. He's a tier 1 poopy ranger. Let's see what crimes were caught on Twitch. Off the top of my head, can I think of any crimes? Turkey, the Turkish community on Twitch was recently just caught in a massive scandal of money laundering through Twitch bits and donations. That's probably on here. What else? CSGO Lotto? Would that be on here, you think?
Twitch started off as Justin
Prime
TV.
Raptor.
A man strapped the camera to his head and would live stream everything that happened to him 24/7. Eventually, the site grew and welcomed people from all over the world to
I
live
used to stream on
the
Justin
company had a
TV.
name change, which we now know as Twitch, and in 2014 was bought out by Amazon for $970 million. The first thing I want to do is talk about the horrible Twitch staff. Now, it's very known that Twitch has some, let's say, biased staff. Every other month, it seems like a female streamer gets banned and then unbanned within the same week, whereas a male streamer can get banned for the same thing, if not something less harmful, and end up getting permanently banned. This has been proven time and time again, with the most recent case being about Narcissa Wright, a Twitch streamer that literally tweeted out, "I want to kill myself and shoot people at Twitch headquarters."
That story is very sad, honestly.
Who was banned, and then, what do you know? Unbanned a few days later. I mean, if you ask me, that should have been a permanent ban, but no. We see in this tweet here that they're reducing her ban, and basically, you know, she got unbanned, is what I'm trying to say.
Point is, Twitch, I see where your bans come, I see where they come from, but it's like, to me, it's just like, this situation, shoot people at the Twitch headquarters?
Should be a permanent ban. Now, why? Are the Twitch staff just full of simps? Yeah. And in all honesty, it does seem like Twitch has favorites. Sometimes the reasoning for people getting banned is so stupid, but then if a female does it, again, this is not every single
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't she rebanned after being... Or... Wasn't she rebanned after being unbanned and then banned again? I'm pretty sure they did correct that mistake. The whole Narcissa Wright story is extremely sad, though. That situation is horrible. I don't think many people know, like, the whole lore behind Narcissa Wright, but it's a, honestly, really sad story. Tell it? I can give the cliff notes. Back in the early days of Twitch, really, Twitch was built on the back of speedrunning for a little while, like Siglimic, Cosmo Wright. Really, the two of them were, like, pillars of streaming content on Twitch, and started to really get a lot of headlines, and then eventually ADGQ was rolling around, AGDQ started popping off. Cosmo Wright was a prolific speedrunner in Zelda games, Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, all of that. And then over time, started to lose interest in speedrunning. I remember, I think it was 2016, Cosmo Wright entered into a Nintendo-sanctioned competition with a guy named John Numbers, where they were playing Mario Maker as a contest. And Cosmo Wright got blown out and didn't really return to streaming after that, if I recall correctly. And then after that, Cosmo Wright's mental health seemed a little spotty from what people were seeing. Eventually, Cosmo Wright transitions into Narcissa Wright, and from there, the streams that she would do were really focused on, like, really negative things, and it was very, like, a toxic environment. Eventually, Narcissa stopped streaming for a while, and what I understood is that she just outright stopped altogether. And then she posted that tweet about wanting to kill herself, and then the Twitch staff, which obviously turned a lot of heads as like, hey, what the fuck is this? So that's where the story's at. There's a lot more nuance to it, but that's kind of like the Cliff Notes breakdown. That whole story there, a lot of, like, sad and unfortunate things happened along the way. But since I was so big into watching Siglimmic, Cosmo, that whole community of speedrunners, it's something I actively followed for a really long time.
Stephen Heyman. On August 31st, 2018, Stephen Heyman and John Di Pietro, I hope I said that right, were on their way to Dragon Con, a convention made for gamers, comic enthusiasts, science fiction fans, and more.
Sounds like
Steven
a joke, like Dragon D's nuts.
This is called IRL streaming. In Atlanta, Georgia, a man is seen approaching John and pins him to the ground. We can't see much, but we do get a full view of what the man looks like.
Oh, shit. Ow. JP, just let go. JP, just let go.
What the fuck is happening?
JP, just let go of it. JP, just let go of it. Let go.
Wow.
You can hear
that was awfully calm.
Say, JP, just let go. And this is due to what I'm assuming is John not wanting the man to take his camera, which the man did end up stealing. From the reports I've read, it seems like the man was never caught. The YouTube comments were full of L friend, this dude is such a bad friend, and comments like that. But honestly, that was the best thing to do. You don't know if someone is carrying a knife or a firearm, and your life really isn't worth getting killed over something as simple as a camera or your wallet, when you could just
love how the dude didn't help. Bro, you're not gonna just give up the camera. Everyone shits on Dale Brown for giving like survival advice for how to like survive in an intense situation and disarm the attacker, and you guys give him shit. But the optimal thing to do is to not fight back. Just give your camera. Again, like Tuv just said, could have a knife, could have a gun, and that guy's big as fuck. That guy was significantly more jacked than Steven here. Just give up the fucking camera. Like, I guarantee if this guy did fight back and got his ass beat, people would give him much more shit anyway. Or he could have lost his life over it for a camera.
The police officer explains the call and asks Mr. Big for his name. Mr. Big explains that he doesn't need to give him any sort of information.
Oh boy, he went full Reddit.
It's honestly a pretty long and petty back and forth from both of them, up until the cop places Mr. Big under arrest. I would say wrongfully place him under arrest. I mean, he did have his right to not say anything. Cops can always arrest you based on suspicion. You know, it didn't seem in the clip like there was any suspicion of anything other than just the way Mr. Big was acting. Anyway, so Mr. Big gets arrested, right? They leave and they close the door. So a few minutes after the arrest, the door opens and reveals a neighbor, presumably the one that made the complaint, walking in and stealing a pair of shoes and a headset. He then returns and steals what seems to be his phone and a watch. I tuned into Mr. Big's Twitch page, and to my surprise, he still streams. Well, he took a break and is back and averages about 5 to 10 viewers.
That's
so I decided to ask him a couple questions.
What a galaxy brain scheme,
Make sure
though.
to show him some love and make sure to tell
fucking
him
supervillain mastermind.
I'm a YouTuber. Yeah, he was charged.
Oh, nice.
Was a career criminal, man. Had a lengthy criminal history. I think he did 3 years for that shit.
I tried looking his name up in like a Washington police directory or something. I checked a lot of websites and I did not find a Jeremy Frost ad. It's not that I don't believe you, Mr. Big. It's just that I would have liked to pull up his mugshot. RickyBot was a 43-year-old man who streamed himself playing Pokemon Go.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do,
Pokemon Go is a mobile game which requires you to go outside in order to catch different. Since the man stole 3 cell phones and the camera itself. RickyBot was taken to a local hospital with a laceration on the side of his head and a swollen right cheek. That same night, Ricky put out a series of tweets reading, "I got mugged playing Pokemon Go in Central Park. Still talking to police and will go to the hospital soon. My jaw is a mess. Thanks all. My Twitch account got suspended. Literally insult to injury."
Yeah, that's another fucked up thing that Twitch used to do. I don't know if they still do. If a crime gets captured on stream, or like something like that, I guess, where you get your ass beat on stream, they just ban the account outright, which is weird. I remember there was that guy who was involved in a hit and run while streaming. At least I think it was a hit and run. Oh, no. There was a streamer who, while streaming IRL, accidentally captured like a shootout, I think it was. Like a guy shot at a car on his stream, and the guy got banned for it. It's really like a weird policy they have in that department when you capture something like that. That's technically against TOS, but you had no control over it, and it would also be good evidence. So I don't know why they'd like take it down. But yeah, that was something they did for all of those kind of cases. I remember that. I don't know if they still do though. Yeah.
So if I'm streaming, right, I have a malicious friend for some reason in my house, right? He comes in, says a slur, runs out. I'm getting banned. Right? It's, I hate it so much. And this poor man got pinned down to the ground and robbed. And Twitch is like, oh, nah, that's violent. Take it down. It's like, there's a lot of stuff about Twitch that rubs me the wrong
that policy
way.
is terrible.
In case you're wondering how Ricky is doing now.
How do they justify it? Because I know they even put out a statement about it. I'm kind of curious. Where can I find those guidelines? Again, I don't know if they still do it, though. But where can I find it? Because I'm curious what they did to defend it. They don't want people faking it for clout. I remember bits and pieces back with the guy who captured a shooter on stream. I think they said something like, we're doing it to keep the VOD private for everyone involved and sharing it with the police or something. Thanks for your subcatamon. I don't remember. If I could just remember what that case was, I'm sure I could find their tweet about it that clarified. Does anyone remember what it was? Because it was a pretty big one. That one got mainstream attention. A streamer had captured like a shootout on stream on Twitch. It was valuable information for the crime, and they banned the account, which then made it inaccessible. Was it North Hollywood shootout? Man, what the fuck? This was 1997 North Hollywood shootout. I remember that. This was not Twitch, you fucking asshole. That one though changed law enforcement drastically. So this is totally unrelated to anything we're watching here with the Twitch crimes. This shootout is fucking crazy. So 2 robbers were armed to the teeth, like full-blown juggernaut from Modern Warfare 2. And they robbed a store. And the police showed up and they just started blasting. Like the guys full auto, just letting it all hang loose. Oh, it was a bank. They robbed the bank. Yeah, that's what it was. Robbed the bank, just blasting. And the cops were shooting back, but their handguns weren't powerful enough to pierce their armor. So they couldn't actually stop them. They couldn't actually prevent them from leaving or doing anything. So they just kept walking away, taking bullets from the police while firing back. The police got so desperate for firepower, they started, I believe they raided a nearby gun store for like shotguns and other items, and as well as like just trying to find anything with a higher caliber. And it was such a long, drawn-out shootout that post-North Hollywood shootout, they started arming police officers much more heavily, like more firepower in their vehicles. It was crazy. The whole thing was captured on helicopter. In fact, the only reason it even ended is because one of the officers got a lucky shot on one of their ankles, because their ankle was slightly exposed, so they hit his ankle, he fell to the floor and knew he was going to be killed, so he took his own life. And then the other one, I think, got really desperate and just started walking at them or something like that. It was something like that. It was fucking crazy. Thanks to Prime Megalodon.
The streamer reacts and is then met with a handgun being pointed at his face and he screams. Alright, don't roast his scream, because I'm pretty sure if any of us were in that position, we would not know what to do. Well, I know you chuckled after that scream, and I did too, but like, let's not be too hard on that
normal
scream. One of the thieves goes to keep his wife quiet, and you can hear the kids in the background. The other is beating the streamer repeatedly with brass knuckles, asking where the money is at.
How do people think it's fake then?
Doesn't have any money, but eventually I did find the name of the streamer, and that's TMoneyFG. It seems he doesn't stream anymore, and I couldn't find a YouTube channel, unless it's the one with 1 subscriber, but I doubt it. I also found his Twitter, and it's extremely botted. 16,000 followers and no likes on his recent tweet. Yeah, a little bit weird. You would think that if he faked this, he would at least gain clout from it. And if he faked it, I don't know if he would scream like that on purpose. Plus, why would you put your kids through something like this? I mean,
yeah, I don't think it's fake.
A lot of people were assuming that the wife set him up because she was too calm. That was stupid too. You can tell she's trying to stay calm for the kids.
So seems like a weird thing to fake if you don't even stream anymore.
I can't tell. The video looked...
Ah, someone found it. Found the streamer you're asking about. Look up Bees on My Head TV carjacking. He was banned for getting carjacked while viewers were trying to use the VOD to find the guy who robbed them. Twitch came out and clarified their policy in response, stating that streamers are responsible for anything shown on stream. That's exactly what I was thinking of. A carjacking. Not a shootout around cars. You're absolutely right. Did he ever get his account back? Because this is like really a hardline stance. Twitch suspended his account for behavior caught on camera and has since informed the streamer he won't be getting it back anytime soon. Thanks again,
Security breach. No, not the Five Nights at Freddy's game. So 6 months ago, on October 6th, Twitch was hacked and a torrent file containing
this was
125 gigabytes worth of leaks appeared on 4chan, and that included source code, streamer earnings, encrypted passwords, and more. We bring to you today an extremely poggers leak. Twitch is an American video live streaming service that focuses on video game live streaming, including broadcasts of esports competitions operated by Twitch Interactive, a subsidiary of Amazon.com. Their community is also a disgusting, toxic cesspool. Beginnings, mobile, desktop, desktop and video game console Twitch clients, creator payouts from 2019 until now. Find out how much your favorite streamer is really making. And then they link.
Did they ever release the second part to this?
Jeff Bezos paid $970 million for this, and we're giving it away for free. Hashtag do better Twitch. Though a bunch of stuff got leaked, people mainly focused on how much their favorite streamers were making. I mean, your passwords were at stake, but people were, you know, kind of mad at XQC for being a millionaire, which we all know. We all know he's a millionaire.
No, that was a surprise to everybody.
Saying they didn't make sense. It's really funny because a lot of Twitch streamers have their sub count like on the top of their heads. They're letting you know
that doesn't mean anything.
It just takes a little bit of math. And they claimed that a part 2 was coming out, but that never happened. Many people just assume it was an ex-Twitch employee or a Twitch employee who knew they were going to be fired.
I doubt it was an ex-Twitch employee.
Right, before I go, I'm just going to end this off with a big bang. I'm sure you guys remember the whole Save the Kids thing.
Who could forget?
When crypto was, I wouldn't say at its peak. I would say at its peak popularity within the internet culture, there were a lot of influencers really taking advantage of this. This doesn't even count the NFT thing, right? This is crypto. Crypto and NFTs are very similar, but they are different, right?
Shitcoins versus NFTs.
There were a lot of influencers promoting a bunch of scam coins, and once their fans would like buy the coins, they would quickly just take all the money, dip, leave the coin with no value. I mean, even Aiden Ross admitted to doing this.
Chat, by the way, that MILF token shit I did a while back.
I remember this one.
I already told you guys, don't buy that shit. I got paid a bag to do that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. I hope none of you guys actually bought it.
Oh my god.
Which was Ice Poseidon. Now, Ice Poseidon used to be a very popular Twitch streamer.
We know this one.
In case you guys haven't heard of him, he's very popular for getting swatted. Yeah, that's what he's known for. He once got swatted on an airplane.
I actually don't know if I'm allowed to watch his story on Twitch. We all know this one, though. He openly admitted to stealing, what was it, 500, what was it, $300 or $500,000 from a shitcoin that he was pumping. Just very open. Watch it? I'll just explain it. I made a whole video on it when it happened. Ice Poseidon was pumping a shitcoin. Somehow his community bought into it. He ran away with 300 to 500,000. I don't remember what number it was, but it was somewhere in that ballpark. And he then went on CoffeeZilla's channel and openly said, yeah, I took the money. I was worried the coin was going to lose some value, so I thought I might as well take the money before it hit zero. And he was just very open and honest. And then CoffeeZilla said, hey, why don't you just give the money back since you still have it? I see it in your wallet. You could give the money back. And he said, I could, but I don't want to. Yep. It was fucking crazy. This afternoon, I was having a pretty good day, so I decided to ruin it by going on Twitter. It's part of my daily routine to check in on Twitter just to make myself mad, as every sane person does, no doubt. And today was nothing special, just endless piles of trash. But while dumpster diving, I found something pretty interesting and alarming. It's a series of posts from a popular streamer named Amaranth. She's massive on Twitch, I'm sure she needs no introduction, I'm positive you all are familiar with her work. She basically invented hot tubs. And on her personal account, she made a series of tweets talking about her stalker. And this shit is fucking scary. It reads like something right out of a Stephen King novel. So I wanted to go over the tweets with all of you, as well as talk about the bigger problem of stalkers on Twitch. Because it's not exclusive to just Amaranth. I think Amaranth has had the most stalkers. She's had like 1,000 stalkers at this point, I think. She's had like an entire fucking football squad worth of stalkers, and that includes third string and bench players. She could fill up an entire Comic-Con convention center with just her stalkers. It's absolutely terrible, and again, it's not just Amaranth. Tons of streamers have talked about their personal experiences with the problem, and one that's always stuck out to me is a really frightening one. I won't name the streamer's name, but there's a streamer on Twitch who has had a problem with a member of her community for almost 4 years now, I believe. And this guy has flown down to her city, uninvited, unannounced, to try and track her down and find her. And while doing that, even broke into another streamer's house while they were streaming, went on their stream and tried to use them to reach out to that streamer on their behalf to track her down for them. Absolute fucking lunacy. And they have also, the stalker has also written a manifesto that's over 400 pages long and still being updated to this day. An actual fucking Harry Potter's book worth of delusion and all about like dating the streamer and all kinds of wild shit in there. It's just straight up horrifying and downright sad. So now let's go through Amaranth's tweets today. This is her alt account. She says that her stalker traveled from Estonia, came to her city and camped out in a hotel with a line of sight to her P.O. box and spent over a month camping out daily at a Starbucks next to the P.O. box and streamed it the entire time, typically to 0 viewers, but growing as he gained notoriety, and every time his account would be taken down, he would just make a new one. This is already so much to digest right here. 44 days and 33 minutes, according to Amaranth, and I'm guessing that's based on how long the stream was up for, based on VODs and all of that, so it was probably realistically a bit more than that, because I'm sure he was there longer off camera. So that is fucking terrifying. Not only was she being stalked, but he was doing it publicly to an audience. Mind-blowing. Camping out at a nearby Starbucks so that way he could be constantly monitoring the P.O. box, hoping to catch her. Like Elmer Fudd trying to set a trap for Bugs Bunny. But that's just the beginning. She said that he'd change his name by just adding more numbers to it, and by his own admission went full scorched earth and sold everything. He sold his house, his car, all his possessions, his cat, and by his own admission again, in publicly posted vlogs, a manifesto. The only thing he brought with him was phone, clothes on his back, and a saxophone, as well as the saxophone case. And he would play the saxophone in some live streams and in public places, and it allowed him to carry around a giant instrument case, which Amaranth said made her nervous because you can put weapons in an instrument case, and I honestly think it's a pretty reasonable fear to have because it makes no sense that he sold everything else except for a fucking saxophone and its case, unless he was planning on becoming like a traveling saxophone performer, like just going around and playing Careless Whisper forever. It makes no sense why he sold everything except that saxophone in its case. Which I agree is very weird, but I think the most concerning thing here is the fact that he sold all of his shit before moving from Europe to be near Amaranth and try and track her down. The fact that he sold everything prior to doing all of this is that kind of behavior that people do right before doing something drastic, like something life ruining and changing. The fact that he'll just cut all ties to everything he's ever owned like that, the whole nothing left to lose mentality, is absolutely fucking terrifying. She goes on saying that she would make it very clear that she didn't want to meet him, didn't want to be anywhere near him, but he would respond by just saying, "Liar, liar, fiancé," and would make dancing videos reminiscent of Buffalo Bill dancing scene and send them to her. And then she posts a picture of it. This whole situation is deeply disturbing, and the fact that he would send videos to her privately is just super fucked up as well. Literally just rubbing it in her face that he is stalking her, and there's nothing she can do about it because the law enforcement wasn't acting very efficiently here, clearly. And then the picture she posts is also super eerie. It looks like something straight out of the SCP wiki. Like, it looks like a goddamn cryptid captured on photograph. It's just an awful, awful situation. She also briefly mentioned that he adopted a feral cat, which wasn't really seen again on the streams, and then says that on Monday the 13th he streamed himself dressed up and carrying his musical instrument case and changed into formal attire and made the last mile journey to her house and cased the vicinity for 30 minutes, to which the cops declined to act. He streamed himself outside, mumbling about how he knew it was wrong, but he has to. And then he tried breaking in and tried to gain entry, to which Amaranth again called 911, says dispatch was rude, cutting her off, put her on hold, and it took 33 minutes for the 911 responders to finally get there. Amaranth did have armed personnel on standby at her residence, according to her, that would have acted if he successfully broke in. But luckily it didn't come down to that. Law enforcement did get there. He got arrested, got detained, and she says the embassy was contacted and he's currently not in Houston, and that's all she can share for now. Luckily this story has a somewhat happy ending. They got arrested and got kicked out of Houston, hopefully also put behind bars. But there's a lot more to talk about here that I'd like to get into, and that's the law enforcement's response to stalking. One thing that's remained consistent across every single story of a Twitch streamer sharing their personal experience with stalkers, the one thing that is a constant is that law enforcement doesn't do anything about it. In extremely rare cases, they'll allow them to get a restraining order, but even that's super uncommon, it seems. They just don't take it seriously. I understand, like, stalking and, like, trying to act on it as law enforcement is a pretty tough situation to be in because, you know, it's not Minority Report where they can tell who's going to commit a crime before it happens or whatever. You know, they're not Tom Cruise. And that's kind of the same thing here with stalking. They're trying to prevent a crime or an escalation without it having happened yet, so they don't have all of, like, the evidence to tell them, like, it's going to happen, so it makes it tough for them to actually act. But I really think in situations like this, they should be a lot more understanding and accepting of evidence. This guy streamed 44 days worth of continuous stalking and harassment, and it's all documented, all of it shared, and yet they still didn't take it seriously until he showed up at the residence. And even when he was there actively trying to break in, they didn't show up for 33 minutes and didn't take it seriously. There needs to be some kind of new way of handling this kind of situation, or it's going to continue and get worse. Another streamer named Sweet Anita also had a similar problem with a stalker, except law enforcement was somehow even more inept here when it came to the situation. This stalker would publicly threaten her, send her threatening messages about how he's gonna kill her, gut her, use a knife and slit her open, and just like crazy, unhinged shit. And in real life, would actually sit outside of her house and follow her around and even tried to assault her. And still, law enforcement didn't take it seriously for the longest fucking time. It's like law enforcement's hands are tied until they actually commit the crime and kill the person. But when there's this many red flags, why not act preventatively? Like, why not have a preventative measure in place? Like, okay, this guy's publicly making threats, sending these threats about how he's gonna kill her, and is actively sitting outside her fucking house. Maybe we should do something about this individual. So yeah, I just think there needs to be some kind of system in place to be a bit harder on stalking, where when there's this much evidence of like threats and then like actually acting on some of the things they're saying in the real world, they need to take that more seriously and be harder on it. Like, if you actually show up, you're getting arrested. If you're within 5 miles of this person, you're getting arrested. Like I said, sometimes there's restraining orders, sometimes they trespass the individual, but even in those cases, it's pretty uncommon they even do that much. So I just think they need to be a little bit more intense on their stalking laws in order to prevent an actual tragedy from occurring. And it's happened before. There's plenty of cases where stalkers have been reported, law enforcement didn't act, and then the stalker ends up killing the victim. Most recently, I think it was last year, and I think this was in the UK, there was a teenager that reported a stalker 5 times and then even got fined 90 euros for wasting law enforcement's time, and then the stalker ended up killing them. A complete failure from the law enforcement there. And that's not an isolated case, it's happened before. I just think in general, there's more the law enforcement agencies can be doing to prevent something like that when it comes to stalking. And then another thing that I'd like to mention is why there seems to be so many stalkers on Twitch in particular. And I think that's because, and I've said this before, you're interacting directly with the streamer you're watching. So for mentally unwell individuals, they get this false sense that they're now friends, and in certain cases, lovers. So a lot of times you'll see these stalkers have the delusion that because they've donated to a streamer or they subbed to the streamer, they're now like romantically involved with each other. And that gives them some sense of entitlement. And when they realize that, you know, the streamer doesn't feel that way about them and doesn't even know they exist, they start to get mad, lash out, and then you see all of these fucking wild, crazy messages and these threats that they'll make and these meltdowns, and it's terrible. You hate to see it. It's absolutely terrible. But it's not like the streamer's fault or anything. That's entirely just because there's so many people on Twitch. Some of them are bound to be mentally unwell and take these parasocial relationships to an extreme level. Parasocial relationships are bad, no exceptions, but they're even worse when the person believes they have control over the streamer or possession of them because they've donated money. Now they're dating and all of this, and then they find out that the streamer is, you know, romantically involved with someone else. In the real world, they lose it, go wild, and then ends up in these crazy stalking situations or whatever. It's just a terrible situation that's only been getting worse as Twitch continues to grow. It's not really a problem with the solution though. There's not a whole lot Twitch can do to prevent that because they can't control the mental health of its users, right? And it's not the streamer's fault who are just streaming and then get someone that keeps donating to them and thinks that they're best friends or they're in love or something because of the money they've given. Like, there's not much you can really do there other than acknowledge, like, hey, look, I'm just a streamer. You know, I appreciate the support and the generosity, but this doesn't make us friends. You know, we're not in love. You know, I don't know you. Ludwig had a whole video called "I'm Not Your Friend," where he just says, like, parasocial relationships are bad. I appreciate that you come to the streams and are generous, but I'm not your friend. And that's really all you can do as a streamer, but that's not going to solve the problem either. There's still going to be those people that cross that line and think that, oh, we're best friends now because I watch them every day or I give them money, and then it ends up in these very awful scenarios and like even create stalkers in some cases. It's just bad all around, and I don't know the solution to it, but I just wanted to at least highlight that it is a problem, but will hopefully stop being a problem in the near future. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to talk about this whole subject, and that's about it. So yeah. Hey, tough guy. You know what these are? Huh? Yeah, that's right. That's some natural, God-given chompers right there. And just like everything in life, they're not perfect. But these teeth are real. And this enamel, it's been places you wouldn't believe. From food to pussy. That's right, I'm down there biting on it like bubblegum. Yep. I haven't slept again. It's 6:45 a.m. I've been up all night for the third time this week. I'm in a silly, goofy mood. Point is, though, I've got real teeth, which is becoming less and less common now online. A lot of the people you see on the cyberspace is rocking veneers. It's become extremely common, and now there's even huge scams revolving veneers with people that are claiming to be veneer techs. Meanwhile, they're just greasy goobers that like read a single Google article on how to like potentially install veneers, but it's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. It doesn't actually make them qualified. They basically just say install the veneers with rusty nails and toothpicks. And I just learned about someone who basically took one of those courses and opened their own business with it. I learned about her from Atozi, who just covered her. Her name's Emily Martinez, and she's actually in my neck of the woods down here, baby. We are getting some absolute lunatics recently in the headlines down here in the old swamp. Emily Martinez is facing some serious years in the slammer for practicing dentistry without a license. She had been running a business where she would give people veneers extremely cheap because she would just crazy glue a set of veneers to people's mouths, which inevitably led to people getting infections and needing emergency care.
Came here to Tap In Beauty Bar to get a smile makeover, but they left with pain and injuries. Police say that Emily Martinez used crazy glue to put veneers on her victim's teeth. She's not smiling in her mugshot, but giving clients a bright white smile with veneers is what Emily Martinez advertised on social media. Video after video shows her claiming to transform teeth from drab to fab, except
she is not licensed to put in veneers. She has no schooling to do veneers. And in the state of Florida, obviously, you have to be licensed to do any kind of work like that.
An interesting scheme, and surprisingly, she's not alone. She is, to my knowledge, the only one that's been, like, busted for this, of installing veneers using crazy glue. But as I briefly touched on, there is this new practice of veneer techs that are popping up, which are just people that Googled how to install veneer and read the WikiHow guide that popped up first. Like, they're not actually experts, but they're getting business because veneers are expensive, like real ones are expensive, and people like Emily Martinez are charging a fraction of the cost. So people are like, oh, I'll save money and get some real nice teeth, and then they go get their shit fucked.
Something her victims didn't know. 2 separate customers reported Martinez to Pinellas Park Police this summer after they had complications, and Martinez refused to fix the work or refund them.
They were told by an actual dentist that the veneers that were placed in the victim's mouth appear to have done with crazy glue.
On average, a single veneer at a dentist's office can cost between $900 to $1,500 per tooth. One victim paid Martinez $2,500 for the entire mouth.
And no doubt that mouth is going to need more than $2,500 to fix everything that went wrong after that visit. You can't just let crazy glue go in there and rot your entire oral hygiene to smithereens. So some people got infections, others needed emergency care, all because they wanted to pinch a few pennies on getting these veneers to chase this ever-increasing beauty standard from shit that they see online and then get hypnotized into thinking that they need to do it. Veneers have become very popular. A lot of celebrities you see have veneers. A lot of influencers online you see have veneers. So now this market is booming and people following this trend, which has led to people like Emily Martinez exploiting it and trying to squeeze some doubloons from some gullible people. I struggle to imagine the people that will see an Instagram post, a complete stranger claiming to be a veneer tech and just rationalizing it in their head that it's a good idea to make that purchase. They must know what they're doing. all because they saw an Instagram post. It's crazy. And I know it's not anything groundbreaking or new. This happens in every industry. You can probably go on Facebook Marketplace right now and find Big Bubba's Tires offering BBLs in the back rooms. Like, you can find all of these, like, back alley surgeons to do these procedures for cheap, and it's always going to be horrible. It's always going to be the most atrocious work possible that is going to really damage you in the long term. Maybe not even in the long term. Maybe immediately it will hurt you. There are people that have died from botched BBLs. Like, I'm getting sidetracked. As far as we know, no one has died from these veneer installments. But people have got infections and needed serious care to fix it, spending significantly more money on the maintenance and fixing of their teeth than what they saved by going to Emily Martinez for a cheaper set of veneers.
It's not the first time she's been accused of this crime. We learned in March Martinez was arrested on charges of unlicensed dentist work in Hillsborough County. She was released and performed the work on Pinellas victims in June and July. And it may have been more than veneers.
We also got information that possibly pulling of teeth. We did also get information that maybe even like children's veneers, so this is still an active investigation.
From the sound of things, people that paid a visit for those veneers viewed her as a dentist. So they started, I guess, requesting like tooth extractions and shit. Or maybe she was just offering that for funsy. Like, hey, this tooth looks a little rotted. Do you want me to just yank it? I'll only charge you like $1,000. They're like, oh great, what a deal. I wonder how that extraction went, by the way. She probably just got a pair of needle-nose pliers and just yanked that bitch right out. Or maybe just took like a hammer and chisel and just fucking whacked on it or something. Like, I bet it was the sloppiest, most painful process ever for a tooth extraction. I imagine finding your dentist through a veneer tech post on Instagram. It blows my mind how anyone would let themselves do that. And according to the report here, she was also allegedly doing veneers for children as well. What the fuck?
The American Dental Association issued a warning last year about unlicensed people claiming to be so-called veneer techs on social media. The ADA says any dental procedure that may alter the physical structure of an individual's teeth, gums, or jaws without the supervision of a dentist has the potential to cause irreversible harm.
A statement like that is so painfully obvious that it's sad that it actually needs to be explained to people. Like, people should be able to have the bare minimum intelligence to recognize that going to a random Instagram account that's charging you like a crazy deal on veneers is probably going to lead to some subpar work, or at the very least, this person is a shady individual and probably not like a general accredited dentist. Like, I don't know how people don't see that by doing something like this, you are setting yourself up for failure. It's also just such a nice cherry on top of this cake here. She was refusing refunds. So those customers that had the complications approached her directly, and she just said, absolutely not. I'm putting the kibosh on that line of questioning right now. No refunds. This is a non-negotiable.
Police say Martinez's victims needed emergency dental care after what she did to their teeth.
They actually have had to pay thousands of dollars to get their teeth fixed. And some of them had to wait for the infection to clear and go get their teeth fixed.
And police say that Martinez was operating here since at least January, but she has used multiple different names for herself and her business. They encourage anyone who may have used her services to reach out to police.
This lady was unhinged with this business here. I am very curious how many people paid for her services, because we know at least 2 of them had some pretty big complications that required like serious tending to, according to the stories. I even read a report that apparently where she claimed to be a dental assistant for 4 years and had proper tools and training, and she learned how to do this procedure after taking an online course on how to fix her 11-year-old daughter's smile after her teeth were knocked out. So basically, she did a Google search on installing veneers and then launched a whole business which basically amounted to just crazy gluing that shit to people's mouths. A mind-boggling strategy. Also, that's apparently not that uncommon when it comes to veneer techs. According to some of the reports, veneer techs take like a 2-day course on how to do it. truly someone worth putting your oral health in the hands of. Pretty interesting stuff here. I'm curious what her sentencing will ultimately look like, and I'm, like I said, very interested to know how many clients she had. I bet there are people that were seeing her actively like a general dentist, like even going for checkups to her. I bet. But anyway, I just wanted to yap about this a bit. That's it. See ya. I find it so fascinating how often people just film their own crimes or post on Twitter about illegal activities that they're doing, and then it eventually comes back to haunt them where they lose their job or get arrested. It's just wild that so often people have this complete lack of self-control and inability to stop themselves from saying or doing dumb, stupid things on Twitter. Like, posting cringe on Twitter has cost more jobs than the invention of machines. And today I want to go over a disturbing new case of gross shit. This was something that went viral a few days ago, but I've only just now caught up on it. It's really gross, and I actually think that this is a deeper onion than most people realize. I think that this was all a manufactured marketing campaign conducted by a shameless degenerate in order to get OnlyFans subscribers. So, let's take it from the top. I'm sure if you were on Twitter a few days ago, you saw this post floating around. This little bit of eyeball poison was getting dunked on by everyone around the globe. And if people weren't shitting on it, they were shitting themselves out of just pure repulsion. So the post is talking about how they're coming out as trans canine and talking about how they've been with 6 dogs. So they celebrate fucking dogs, and they double down on this, triple down on it, and have made it their entire brand identity now. Like, this is now their online presence, is being the dog fucker. And they're very open about it, talking about it, and trying to make it like some kind of powerful movement about why fucking dogs is a great thing. Obviously, I'm on the side of common sense here. Animals can't consent to having sex. Thus, you're not even having sex with the animals, you're raping them. You're a dog raper. It's called bestiality, and it's a crime. It's illegal. It's not something to be celebrated or encouraged. Now, I think the person behind this knows it and was making this as a giant post that would hopefully gather a lot of hoopla and put eyes on their content. Because even prior to this post, they were dropping nude photos, lewd photos, and just talking like about trying to monetize their sexual content. And then after this post got so much steam, they made a statement saying that this had cost them their job, they now no longer have a way of making money, so in desperation, they're saying fuck it and starting an OnlyFans. When I'm pretty sure that was the entire plan from the get-go, and by having so many eyes on them from all of this spotlight that was shined there, they immediately got a giant head start. Like, they're way over 150,000 followers at this point, and I'm pretty sure that this was their intention from the get-go. They chose something that they knew most people would have a problem with. No one likes to see animals being abused, and no one likes to hear about animals being used as like sexual objects or sexual props for people in their content. It's like, that is beyond weird. So they are probably aware that by making that post, it would have gathered a lot of steam, which it did, and then they immediately went around with this narrative that they were fired. There's no way of knowing 100% for sure if they were fired. I take all of that with a grain of salt. And even the way they talk about it, like in that post they're saying they're going to sue everyone that got them fired, that just seems like a troll. That legitimately just seems like a weak, low-effort troll statement at the end there. There is evidence to suggest they may have actually lost their job from this, but even still, I don't think it's 100% confirmed as of this moment. Like, it just, to me, feels like this was all part of the plan. And you can also even see them, like, lean into it. If you go back a couple days before this blew up, they made this post about how OnlyFans models are the devil. You know, this is terrible stuff. Look, what kind of example are you setting for children, you godless heathens? And then only days later, turning around and dropping one of their own, OnlyFans is disgusting and you're going to hell for it, as they're signing up for an account. I could be wrong. This all could be done genuinely and wasn't meant as a marketing play for OnlyFans subscribers, but to me, that's just really what it feels like. It feels like someone that is very aware of what they're doing and trying to capitalize off outrage and being the villain. I've said this a million times, but on Twitter, since everyone has unlimited access to every unhinged thought and person imaginable across the globe, you will always find people that agree with you. No matter how outrageous the belief, you will always find supporters. And that's exactly what's happened here. They now do have legitimate supporters backing them and the dog fucking stuff from other equally deranged animal fuckers. It's pathetic, sad, and it's just really depressing that this is actually succeeding for them financially. Now, if I'm correct and this is all just revolting marketing for their OnlyFans, it doesn't make any of this justifiable, excusable, and it doesn't make the whole situation any better. But it would at least be nice knowing that the person behind all of this isn't actually a danger to animals around them and having sex with them, as well as other awful things that they've been talking about recently. Though I do think that there is a possibility that this is all true and they are actually out there harming animals, and they're just spitting in the face of anyone with any level of human decency, making posts like this saying that they'll buy a wolf pup with their first OnlyFans check, which is of course them not so subtly letting people know that they're going to be buying an animal for the sole purpose of having sex with it. They even mention that they're a size queen in reference to buying that wolf pup. So that's like something that needs to be like actually investigated, if this person is a legitimate danger or not to animals. Now, if I may, I'd like to turn your attention to another piece of evidence that I've collected in this case, and I'd like to present it to the court. So this is Exhibit D here. This is a post from them today, which is now seeming to champion for incest, talking about how having sex with your cousin is fine, it's all good, it's normal, and it shouldn't be like stigmatized and this and that. So this reinforces to me the thought that the person behind all of this is someone who is just trying to choose the most disgusting stances possible in order to attract as many tomatoes being thrown at them, so that way hopefully they can then catch a couple of like mentally unwell stragglers that are agreeing with them and then signing up to the OnlyFans. That's what this whole thing seems to me. Of course, I could be wrong, and this really could be someone that really believes in fucking dogs as well as incest, because they go on and on to try and defend this whole cousin sexual relationship thing. It's more really gross, repulsive stuff. But I just really do think that this is all just supposed to drive traffic to their OnlyFans through outrage. But yeah, regardless, the whole thing is horrible, the person is horrible. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah. For about the last week now, I've just been sitting here stewing, just letting some juices marinate in my old noodle up here, as I've realized just how dangerous it is to have an argument in the real world in these days. I remember growing up, usually if you started beefing with someone, like you're insulting each other, like, hey, stupid face, are you looking for moron town? It's that way, idiot. You know, that would be letting bygones be bygones. Maybe they sigh and insult you back and you go about your separate ways. Or if the stars align and someone's real heated, they get real steamy, maybe you shove each other and a couple of wet noodle punches are thrown, just some really low-calorie knuckle sandwiches, but at the end of the day, both people walk away all right, and that's the end of it. I don't think that's the case anymore. Every single day now, I'm reading about how a very trivial argument or disagreement over something minor leads to somebody in a coffin. Just an absolute body bag over fucking nothing. I talked about this recently because I made a video on my second channel. I've been making a lot of content exclusive to the second channel, like I said I would, and I covered a story that was really like beyond pathetic and sad. It's about a man who murdered an 18-year-old because that kid had responded to his Facebook post with a laughing emoji. I couldn't even imagine the mentality of an unhinged lunatic that felt that that was an appropriate response to that kind of meaningless nonsense. Like, these days, if you do something so much as putting too much mayonnaise on a sandwich, it could be a death sentence. I've talked about this story so many times, but it still, like, actually weighs on my mind that there are just so many people around us that are just one small inconvenience away from killing someone. Just an actual murderer waiting to happen, just waiting for that one small spark to ignite that rage inside of them. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, it's because I keep getting stories about this shit happening, so I just wanted to share a couple from the last week or so. Yesterday, I shared some good, positive things going on in the world, so I figured today it's time to counterbalance that with some horrible shit that's happening. So, I mentioned the laughing emoji murderer. I'm just going to show you pieces from that video I already made covering it, and then getting into the other ones I wanted to talk about. But on Facebook, a gentleman had posted a picture of himself and his milady, him and his girlfriend, and somebody gave a laughing emoji reaction to it. And for that, he murdered them. When I went over this on stream, chat started saying L. Joe Dirt because, I mean, his mugshot here makes him look like Joe Dirte. This fucking inbred loser looks illiterate, but somehow he was able to actually start talking to the victim on Facebook. I guess in between whippets, he started responding to the guy who wrote the laughing emoji, who, you know, posted the laughing emoji, which this guy took as him dropping the gauntlet and challenging his honor. So he starts poking him a little bit, you know, trying to get some bread, huh? And shit, I don't know, you the one on my dock. Which I think he means dick. The fuck you even react to my shit for anyways? I'm ready though. Which is just such an unbelievably insane response. You're reacting to my shit? Okay, well I stay ready. Huh? When and where? When and where? You have the laughing emoji here? Prepare to die, bitch. Eventually the two agreed to meet up at a park to fight, where Watkins fatally shot them. This was mind-blowing to me that the victim would even agree to meet up with this fucking maniac. I don't know what he was expecting to happen there, some kind of honorable knight's code like fisticuffs. Like, you know, we're gonna settle this like some pugilistic men from back in the day with our fists, let our knuckle sandwiches do the talking. Surely this fucking weirdo on Facebook isn't gonna do anything sketchy or fishy. I don't know why he would agree to meet up at a park to fight about it, but yeah, they go to the park to fight it out, where Watkins and friends end up shooting, which kills the 18-year-old and also injures another woman. So I guess it turned into like a big shootout almost, where a lot of shots were fired. So not only was Tanner Watkins arrested for murder, but another person named Caleb Ramses was as well. All of this over a laughing emoji used on Facebook. Now Tanner's in jail for life, most likely, and that girl that he was defending the honor of so steadfast is now just going to be getting piped by other men. So amazing decision making here from Tanner, really. Throwing his whole life away because someone laughed at him and his girlfriend, and now his girlfriend will no longer be his girlfriend. She is going to find another man while he rots in prison for the rest of his fucking life for killing a man over a laughing emoji. It doesn't get more pathetic than that. I promise you, Tanner did not have the last laugh here. He became an even bigger joke that now everyone's dropping laughing emojis on because he ruined his whole fucking life over nothing. And of course, it's also important we talk about Caleb Ramsey here, who also threw his life away because his friend had a laughing emoji dropped on him. So this guy is an even bigger cuck somehow. That's that story in a nutshell. I then went on to talk about kind of what I briefly mentioned here about how dangerous it is just to even engage in a potential fight with somebody. Like, I really do think when it comes to altercation in the real world, it's best just to de-escalate as much as possible because, you know, like in a road rage incident, you never know what the other person's capable of and how far they're going to go. But then sometimes it doesn't matter how hard you try and de-escalate something, it's almost inevitable. Fate stepped in order to bless you with an asshole that just wanted to commit an atrocity against you for no reason at all. Like the story I'm about to share with you now about a man from Florida, classic Florida man story. I know all great fairy tales begin in Florida. This man nearly beat to death another man with a golf club because he made the mistake of walking on the cart path of a golf course.
And a traumatic brain injury. We first showed you this body cam video last night at 11. It shows deputies arresting Eddie Robit on a charge of aggravated battery. So now at 5, News 6's Emily McLeod is live in Lake County. Emily, you spoke with the victim in this.
You know, Joseph Sivak is recovering from broken ribs, a ripped ear, and several facial fractures after Lake County Sheriff's deputies say this man, Leesburg dentist Eddie Orobit, beat Sivak with a golf club.
Now the attacker here, who looks like he's in the witness protection program, he's actually a dentist. So I imagine this may have been part of a bigger plan to fuck this dude's face up, like rearrange his teeth so that way he'd have to see him later on in order to fix it. So maybe this is a money generating scheme and this isn't the first time. But anyway, in a nutshell, That man and his wife were walking along the cart path. They weren't playing golf, so it's a pretty fucking stupid place to be walking because you could just get hit by balls. Like, you're not supposed to do that, I imagine, because it's, you know, it's a private course, I bet. But there's a way of handling that that doesn't involve beating the shit out of them, like, within an inch of their life. So he broke multiple ribs, a potential traumatic brain injury, fractured skull, ripped ear, all of that, because he walked on that cart path. And instead of just having a conversation, the guy walked up to him, spit in his face, hit him with the golf club in the leg, to which the victim tried to defend himself with a plastic water bottle, but unfortunately he brought a water bottle to a golf club fight and damn near ended up like Joel from The Last of Us 2 here. Like, the guy did not hold back, and he had the gall, the fucking chutzpah, to be surprised that he was getting arrested. That is insulting. He's like, what are you arrested me for? What? Because I almost killed the guy? Like, what? What happened to this being a free country? I can't just beat this man to death for walking on the golf cart path? Oh, are you kidding me? Oh my god. This is pathetic. Oh, this is sickening. Sickening. Now, I'm not here to give you a new phobia, but this might just change the way you look at standard yard care equipment. A man in Illinois was shot and killed over using a leaf blower. Just normal, you know, sprucing up the old driveway, the old front yard. Using the leaf blower, he got into an argument with his 79-year-old neighbor, who then shot and killed him. I'm surprised that 79-year-old was even able to pull the trigger with the amount of arthritis they must be encumbered by. Just downright evil. Now, according to neighbors, these two did have a history leading up to this. Not that there's any kind of history that would excuse murdering a man in cold blood over using a fucking leaf blower, but apparently the two weren't exactly on friendly terms, and based on this story, I'm gonna say that the 79-year-old was most likely the jerk here in this relationship. What an unbelievable piece of shit. I've seen quite a few more over the last week, but I'm only going to show you one more story here, and the reason I want to bring this one up is because in situations where there's like an argument that was filmed or a fight that broke out and something happens, I see a lot of people on Twitter saying, how did no one step in and get in the middle of this and stop this bad thing from happening, or like do something to protect everyone? And like, I don't think this is necessarily a bad take or anything. Like, it's noble, like you want to see the good in people, that someone will be a fucking anime hero and step up and put the kibosh on everything like a fucking saint. Everyone simmers down and everyone shakes hands and walks away. But the reality of the situation is that doesn't always happen. Usually when someone tries to intervene in a situation that's escalated, like in an argument, they usually end up being a victim as well. So in the case of this story I'm about to show you, a couple was arguing at a restaurant, someone tried to calm them down, and was fucking shot for it.
An early morning shooting in Hollywood. Police say a man and woman were arguing near the El Compadre restaurant on Sunset Boulevard just after 2:30 this morning. Another man tried to intervene and then was shot by that man who was having the argument. Well, the suspect then took off. The victim was taken to the hospital, and no word yet tonight on his condition.
There is a real justifiable fear from bystanders that are watching an argument escalate or a situation or fight break out for why they don't intervene and put themselves in danger there, because it could come at the cost of their life, getting shot or some horrible shit like that. So it's just it's a fucking lose-lose situation most of the time. It's fucking scary. I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because I keep seeing these stories. Again, I don't know if this is just so much access to information, so you're just inundated with all of the most awful stories all the time, or if there really is just an increase in the frequency of these deadly, violent shootings and killings over such small things. I don't really know. It could be either one. But I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. That's it. So, yep. Having a healthy family dynamic is extremely important in raising a child. Having a good relationship between parents and children is probably the most impactful thing to someone growing up. And that's not groundbreaking new information here. You know, this isn't like an episode of Rugrats where I'm coming at you like Dr. Lipschitz here, dropping all of this wisdom about raising children. Everyone knows this. If your parents come home from work every day and crack open a cold brewski, kick sand in your face and call you mean names like dweeb and tell you you're ugly, it's just not an optimal environment to be raised in. And you know what else is an awful environment to be raised in? The household of this Sopranos actress. There's an actress named Drea De Matteo who just went... I'm sorry if I butchered her name. I haven't seen The Sopranos. Sue me. Sorry. I know it's like one of the most beloved television series of all time. I haven't seen it yet. But this actress from The Sopranos went on a podcast and she mentioned that she lets her 13-year-old son edit some of her OnlyFans photos. Did you hear Drea De Matteo from The Sopranos just admitted that her 13-year-old son edits her OnlyFans photos? Your phrasing of that really isn't indicative of how she talked about it. She was proud of it, as if it was a normal thing. Yeah, I did see that. Here, I'll pull it up for you. She was on like a podcast and was talking about her OnlyFans work, and the question came up about like her 13-year-old like working for her. And she was like, oh yeah, no, he edits my OnlyFans photos, so let's come talk to me about, like, Mom, what do you want me to do about this bikini line? And of course I don't let him see any of the other girl stuff, or whatever.
Queen! You're doing girl-on-girl collabs.
Yes, because
we are switching this pot up. Okay, let's get...
Blackjack in Alabama, my kids are out there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry, but they know.
They know who their mama is. Before you start, your son was outside saying he edits your OnlyFans photos.
Oh yeah.
That is demented.
What do with the bikini line here?
Yeah.
That is just demented. The shamelessness is crazy. I don't know how that's not like a crime. Doesn't that have to be some kind of like... I guess I don't know what OnlyFans content she's talking about. But like if a 13-year-old is editing pornographic content, that has gotta be illegal.
So you don't have to apologize to them, I don't think.
No, but they don't see the girl shot.
I also cannot believe the response from these two. He's acting like this is some kind of normal thing. Like, I remember when I was a 13-year-old boy and my mom came up to me and said, hey son, you want to make a couple quarters this summer? Edit my porn. And I said, alright. Simple blue-collar work. Put some hair on your chest. And then she says that she loves it. That's unhinged.
But I do go over that with them before I ever put them out. I was like, are you okay with this? Because it's like, if I were to do it in a movie, because I would make out with girls in movies all day long before I'd even make out with boys.
Names, but really, I think the same
download for the plane.
The same way that you to have these conversations with your kids, I think you need to call me before you do it. Also,
Torch Queen.
So I haven't seen the full clip or anything. This guy seems kind of creepy, but this whole thing is absurd. So she's saying like, oh yeah, I'd make out with girls all the time in movies, you know. So I check with my son to make sure it's okay. Like what? Having a 13-year-old edit your OnlyFans content has to be illegal. Like, I don't understand how in her rotted brain she thinks that those two things are comparable, where her making out with, like, other women on screen is somehow, like, even in the same ballpark as having your 13-year-old son edit your OnlyFans photos. Like, in those movies or whatever where you'd be making out with other actresses, your son is not on the director's staff telling you to do it or editing the content. It's fucking gross. I don't know anything about this lady at all. All I know is that's some shit that should earn you a one-way trip to the Slammer. I checked out her OnlyFans out of curiosity. She doesn't do nudes, but it's obviously still sexual content. Okay. Curiosity got the best of you. Did you pay for it? That's big investigative journalism. But it still doesn't change anything. Even if it's still not nude, editing sexual content is... having a 13-year-old edit your sexual content is absolutely foul. Her kids should unionize. That's so true. I won't use any more Photoshop on my mom's titties until we're paid a fair wage. Give us 10,000 more V-Bucks. Hell no, I didn't pay. I just found an archive of her OnlyFans content with all her photos and videos. Sure you did. She is full-blown loopy off that poopy. That is deranged. Even if she's not doing full nude content or full-blown porn, having a child edit any kind of sexual content is outrageous. I do not know how she is not in handcuffs from admitting that. I also decided to watch a little more of the podcast, and it doesn't really get touched on again. They kind of just gloss over that, even though that shit sticks out like a sore thumb. Like, I don't know how that wasn't pushed back on by the two other people there. They seemed very supportive of that statement, which is gross. But I decided to also look into a little bit more about this actress. And this is what she had to say about doing OnlyFans. According to her, she initially wanted to launch it as a podcast hosted with her boyfriend that focused on politics and current affairs, saying, quote, we wanted to do it there because it wouldn't be censored and everything was being censored. We have no freedom of speech anymore. And then she started doing steamy content, and even though she's not doing full frontal nudity or X-rated scenes, she has come to regard her OnlyFans work as a political statement. I had to give myself the narrative that this is the only way I can fight for my freedom right now, and that's basically to be naked. To be naked with my beliefs and my politics and what I want for my kids' future. And I think that people are so afraid right now to speak their minds. What kind of hullabaloo are you going on here? This is a buzzword after buzzword. What do you mean? To be naked with your beliefs and politics and what you want for your kid's future? Do you want your kid's future to be endlessly bullied? Like, your kid's future right now is a porn editor. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Crazy lady, snap back to reality. You started OnlyFans because you stopped being able to land any kind of meaningful Hollywood roles. Your kid's future was not top of mind when you started doing OnlyFans content and then hired them as your editor on staff. And I'm using the word hire super loosely, because I bet she doesn't pay the 13-year-old. Maybe she does, I don't know, some kind of allowance or some shit, I have no clue. But this is so disgusting. And what's even crazier is this isn't the only time I've heard of this. There was a video that went viral like a year and a half ago about a mother whose daughter was editing her OnlyFans content for her, and even directing and taking photos for the mother for her OnlyFans content. That's so fucked up. I don't know how it's happened not once but twice now. Like, it makes no sense to me. How delusional can you possibly be to try and spin this as some kind of wholesome fight the power narrative here? Like, how can you in any way look at this as anything positive? Like, what fucking statement are you making about being naked or doing whatever sexual content you do on OnlyFans? Even though she says that this is her way of, you know, getting back to get naked. That was her words. So does she get naked on OnlyFans? I don't really know. But what is confirmed is that she has a 13-year-old edit some of the content for her. That's fucking crazy. That is a lunatic right there. Like, what is the political statement you're making? Child labor, 2 thumbs way up? Like, what? Children should be able to edit sexual content? Like, what statement are you making, weirdo? It's so fucking odd. Alright, listen, son. Mommy's gonna go get finger banged on camera. I'll make sure to write down timestamps for you to highlight the best moments for OnlyFans for the montage. I feel so bad for her son here. I feel so bad for the kid in this situation. But yeah, I had to talk about this a little bit. It's another brain-rotted Hollywood celebrity doing gross shit. That's about it. See ya.